is going on, guys? XPEL Games here, and today I'm going to be doing the basically the gold hero set, basically how to get it, and all of the, what is it called? Let's see, we got to go to the back of the card, right? All of these transmissions. I'm going to go through all of these, kind of explain what they're saying, what's going on in them, and then from there you're just going to kind of have gameplay behind that. So other than that, I'd say that's about it for the video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on into things. So first things first, this is what the Seraph looks like whenever you get her gold. And that booty though. Okay, but she's got like the Annihilator pistol in her pocket, like she usually does, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, she usually does, but everything on her is gold right now, like even the little sword in her back, which, why can I not use that? Should that not be like her special weapon? That should be her special weapon. So there's that. But alright, let's go ahead and look at the back of the card. Simulation, her gender is female, her name is He Zen Zen. Wow, that's exciting. That's a great name, girl. Great name. I only have like 124 kills with it since my 9th or my 10th prestige, so I don't really use the Annihilator that often. I don't really like it that much, but I do enjoy the combat focus a lot. I think I have a lot more kills with it, but whatever. I guess I can't really say much because every time I go to use it, I kind of die like immediately. Like, you know how you'll pop it and then immediately just like hit the ground because somebody kills you? Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. So my KD is a 3.02 with it, basically. But other than that, her bio says the only child of a feared officer of the 54 Immortals. He, Zen Zen, was raised within the ranks of the Singapore Quarantine Zone's ruling criminal combine. She proved to be an excellent and dedicated pupil, learning the traditions and yep, that's the word I was looking for, guys. Honored lineage, I think that's it, lineage of the organization while pursuing martial training with the single-minded determination. She worked hard not to disappoint her father or the Combine's leadership. At 17, she was elevated to the rank of Enforcer, which is why she says all these things all the time, one of the few who police the Combine from within while ruthlessly executing the will of the 54 Immortals wherever and whenever it might be required. So basically, if you ever played the campaign, this is kind of like the chick that you end up, you know, cutting her hand off or killing her, whatever it was. So yeah. The Annihilator, designed specifically for the Seraph, firing this high-caliber pistol, depleted uranium rounds would break the arm of a non-augmented soldier. So basically, if you're not, like, if you don't have her arm that she has, you can see it, like, right there. If you don't have the robot arm that she has, then it's not going to work out for you. The Shima, one-shot kill at all distances, both short and long range. High penetration rounds can kill enemies through walls. Nice. Does massive damage to enemy score streaks. I think it's like a 2-shot UAV down, pretty sure. Combat focus. By drawing on her martial training, Seraph's obvious strategic mastery of the battlefield qualifies her for increased tactical support. Maximize bonus, or for the Shima, maximize bonus by completing objectives and destroying equipment and score streaks. Effective in helping to reach high-level score streaks. Synergizes well with the perks Ante-Up and Overclock, which is very true. Play conservative while active to maintain score streak progress, which is also true. So 5.1 transmission, quarantine, and I'm going to go ahead and play the audio, and we're going to have some background gameplay for you guys to watch. So without further ado, here we go.
I was 14 years old when my father told me we were moving into the quarantine zone. I was helped into the back of an APC and watched the internal screens closely as we rolled across Singapore. The quarantine zone gates were opened by guards the 54I had bribed. I won't ever forget my first view of our new home. It was a war zone. Desolate, trash, and wreckage everywhere. There were still the remains of bodies laying around. I almost complained. but was silenced by a single glance from my father. He was an enforcer, one of the few who kept the Combine in check. There could be no public dissent. If I were to follow in his footsteps, I would have to play my role. We had to set the example of what was expected.
So, simply put, they moved and they kind of had to take care of the whole place that they were at. They had to enforce the law there, quote-unquote, the law, written by the 54 Immortals. So, that's kind of how that worked. And, yeah, on to 6.1, which is called Training. And we'll go ahead and play the audio here as well.
No one ever dared to mess with me. Everyone was terrified of my father, and with good cause. The only people allowed to lay hands on me were my combat tutors. I expect my father would have killed them for going easy on me. If I wanted to become an enforcer, it would have to be on my own merits, not because of my family name. So for the next 3 years, my days were spent in training. Hand-to-hand combat, gunplay, urban combat tactics, strategy, history, Chinese literature. It is not enough for an enforcer to be a great fighter. They have to embody the ideals of the 54 Immortals. They have to inspire loyalty and respect. I worked as hard as I could. Failure was not an option. To fail would have brought dishonor to my father, and that was something I was determined never to do.
So she trained, right? She did all these things. Not only did she train physically, she also trained mentally. She worked on becoming a loyal person to the 54 Immortals. She basically just set herself as an enforcer and put her own mind as an enforcer. That way, she would never have the chance to leave the 54 Immortals, or she'd be dead. So 7.1 Transmission Elevation.
The day of my elevation was a great day. I was escorted to the biodomes and granted an audience with the late leader Go Min and his sister Xiaolan. It wasn't the first time I'd met them, but in their presence, I could feel their greatness. Understood what they had built for us there in the quarantine zone. Xiaolan herself brought a box down towards me, placed it on a table, and told me to open it. Inside, 2 of the most beautiful things I had ever seen. My Annihilator, and the custom cybernetic arm I would need to wield it. She drew her own blade, and I took it with my left hand. In order to be worthy of this honor, I would have to show what I was prepared to sacrifice, without breaking eye contact with her. I placed my right hand on the table and began the surgeon's work.
What the fudge? Did this girl just cut off her own arm? This whole time. I mean, this whole time. I had thought, she'd got it taken off in war. Nah, girl. When you elevate it up to an enforcer, apparently you gotta cut off your arm so you can frickin' use the cybernetic arm and use the Annihilator. What the fudge, man? Alright, fine. So, her life as an enforcer, and then we'll go to the debrief. So, this is basically the last one. The debrief, it kind of just shows us, how many people they've gotten for the game. So, yeah. Enforcer.
I represent the will of the 54I, or more specifically, the will of its leaders. My personal wants and needs are of no matter. I keep the peace in the quarantine zone, settling any disputes between the rank and file. If we go to war, I'm expected to lead. The 54I has its roots in street-level operations, but we run a tight ship. We're an army, not a gang. If crimes are committed against the Immortals, then I deal with those too. As an enforcer, I am judge, jury, and executioner. Outside of the quarantine zone, I speak directly for the 54 Immortals' leadership,
My word is their bond. It is a great responsibility, but I wear this title with pride. We are the undying immortals, and we shall never be put down.
This girl's crazy, and I don't mean that like a little bit. I mean like this girl is crazy. Like, she sacrificed her arm for this freaking 54 Immortals thing, and now she's like judge, jury, and execution, which means if someone does something that she simply does not like, or maybe goes a little bit against the 54 Immortals law, she has the choice to kill them or not kill them. So I'd say she's pretty much the most hardcore, other than the Firebreak over here. But didn't mean to do that. So let's go back down. We'll play the debrief audio.
Based on the requirements laid out at the start of this procurement process, I'm certain that the intelligence gathered in the dossiers in front of you will lead you to conclude that the 8 referenced individuals will be the best subjects for your program. Further, I believe that the plant you specified be placed amongst them will independently verify my findings. As instructed, the intelligence was gathered covertly, using a number of...
Are you certain they were unaware of your surveillance?
Yes, sir. I'd stake my reputation.
There's more at stake here than your reputation.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Very well. Leave us. We were never here. We have never spoken.
You know what? I'm pretty sure this 9.1 transmission will only unlock when I finish all of them. I think it's going to be different whenever I get them all finished. Because it keeps saying like a certain number of people. And even like I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th person. The Seraph is the 5th person, so I don't know. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but I'm going to try and see if I can get the Nomad Gold, and we'll find out next time I make one of these videos. But that is going to pretty much do it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to drop the video a like and subscribe for more awesome content coming out each and every day, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.